You're at a Japanese restaurant in Tokyo and order teriyaki chicken. What arrives is grilled chicken with thin, glossy coating that tastes like soy sauce, sake, and subtle sweetness. Then you're back in America and order teriyaki from a food court. What arrives is chicken drowning in thick, dark sauce that tastes like sweet BBQ with ginger. Same name. Completely different sauces. You've wondered which one is real teriyaki. They both are. One is Japanese cooking technique that became a sauce. The other is American interpretation that became its own thing. Let's explore the process. Here's what confuses people. Teriyaki isn't a sauce in Japan, it's a cooking method. Teri means luster. Yaki means grilled. You grill meat while basting it with glaze that creates shiny coating. The glaze is simple: soy sauce, mirin, sake, sugar. 4 ingredients: no ginger, no garlic, no pineapple. The technique matters more than the sauce. Japanese chefs apply glaze during final minutes of grilling so it caramelizes without burning. You've seen this watching yakitori, that glossy sheen developing as the chef brushes sauce and sugar caramelizes over charcoal. Traditional Japanese teriyaki sauce starts with those 4 ingredients in specific ratios. Soy sauce provides salt and umami. Mirin provides sweetness and shine. It's sweet rice wine with lower alcohol than sake. Sake adds depth and helps tenderize protein. Sugar balances and aids caramelization. The manufacturing is simple. Mix ingredients in pot. Heat to dissolve sugar and cook off harsh alcohol. Reduce slightly until it coats a spoon. 5 to 10 minutes. No thickeners. The sauce stays thin because it's meant to be brushed on during cooking, not poured on after. You want it to penetrate and glaze, not pool. Kikkoman makes authentic teriyaki sauce for Japanese market, using this exact formula. They heat the mixture in large kettles, reduce to proper consistency, bottle. It's shelf-stable because high sugar and salt preserve naturally. The sauce is thinner than American versions, darker, tastes more savory than sweet. You can find this in Japanese grocery stores labeled for Japanese market. It looks almost like thin soy sauce with slight viscosity from reduced sugars. But here's the kicker. When Japanese immigrants brought teriyaki to America in the 1960s, Americans didn't understand the cooking technique. They wanted sauce they could buy and pour on meat, like BBQ sauce. So manufacturers adapted. They thickened it with cornstarch. They added more sugar. Americans expected sweetness. They added ginger and garlic because Americans associated Asian food with those flavors. Some added pineapple juice because enzymes tenderize meat, and Americans loved Hawaiian-style teriyaki. The result is sauce twice as thick, twice as sweet, with flavor profile unrecognizable to Japanese chefs. American teriyaki manufacturing reflects these changes. Kikkoman makes separate American formula. Soy sauce is still base, but they add water, high-fructose corn syrup, vinegar, modified corn starch, garlic powder, onion powder, natural flavoring. The process involves cooking in industrial kettles while continuously stirring to prevent starch clumping. Cornstarch needs heat to activate. It thickens as temperature reaches 160 to 180 degrees. They cook until sauce reaches specific viscosity. This American version clings to meat like glaze, stays on surface instead of soaking in. You've noticed when you buy teriyaki from grocery stores, it's thick enough to barely pour. The texture difference is engineered specifically. Japanese teriyaki is marinade consistency, thin enough to brush on and absorb. American teriyaki is glaze consistency, thick enough to coat and stick. Different purposes. Japanese version is applied during cooking at high heat, where moisture evaporates. American version is poured on after cooking, where it needs to stay viscous. You've probably used American teriyaki as dipping sauce. That's not how Japanese teriyaki works. It's integral to cooking, not an afterthought. And here's where it gets interesting. Pineapple juice in Hawaiian-style teriyaki serves specific function. Pineapple contains bromelain, enzyme that breaks down protein. This tenderizes tough cuts when used as marinade. But it also means the sauce can't be too acidic, or meat turns mushy. Hawaiian teriyaki balances pineapple enzyme with extra sugar. You've probably had teriyaki chicken that's almost falling apart tender. That's pineapple enzyme working. Japanese teriyaki doesn't do this. It preserves meat texture while adding flavor. Most Americans think teriyaki is Japanese sauce when it's actually American interpretation of Japanese technique. Ask someone in Tokyo for teriyaki sauce in a bottle and they'll be confused. Why would you want the sauce separate from the grilling process? The sauce exists to create reaction with heat, not to be consumed cold. But in America, teriyaki became a flavor profile you could buy and apply to anything. Salmon, chicken, beef, rice bowls, even pizza. The technique divorced from the sauce, and the sauce evolved into something entirely new. This creates situation where two products share a name, but serve completely different purposes. Japanese teriyaki is thin, barely sweet, designed for high heat application during cooking, where sugars caramelize and create that signature gloss. American teriyaki is thick, very sweet, designed for room temperature application after cooking, where it needs to coat and cling without heat. Neither is wrong. They're solving different problems for different cuisines and different expectations. So which teriyaki is authentic? Both. Neither. Japanese teriyaki isn't even a sauce. It's a grilling technique where thin glaze caramelizes under heat. American teriyaki is a pour-on sauce engineered for convenience, thickened with cornstarch, sweetened for Western palates. Tokyo chefs would barely recognize what American food courts call teriyaki. American consumers would find traditional teriyaki disappointingly thin. Same word, different products, different cultures solving different problems. I'm genuinely curious, which version did you grow up with?